Greetings, this is Charlotte back again with Angelic Messages 111, the part 2 of the 444 portal opening message. It's a continuation from yesterday because I was cut off and I heard to go ahead and rest, and that I would do a second part to elaborate a little bit more about yesterday. Quick recap. Part 1, there was 5 cards pulled from the Fountain Tarot deck that my friend and sister Alana gifted me back in December. It was my first time doing a reading with these cards at all. The layout was basically a 3-card draw at first, and then a crossing card and an additional clarifying card. Now, today, once I got the technology set up and my sanctuary and altar space set up, I went to the card deck because I was going to pull the cards out to show you instead of just my cell phone picture. And I remember putting them back in to the box the way that they were when I wrapped up yesterday. So I was like, well, there's going to be a continuance. I might want to re-reference these cards. And so I put them in top so that I could easily access them today. Now, to my knowledge, no one touched this deck but me. I even had things stacked on it, like a little bag that I carried in, another the cloth that I pull the cards on. And the cards, there were 3 cards sitting on the top, but they weren't any of the same cards from yesterday. And so I was like, well, did I mess them up? Did I put it back different? And started to doubt myself. And Spirit was like, no, these are cards that need to be talked about today. And that's different because I usually shuffle cards and pull them, but sometimes cards do just jump out at you out of decks. With that said, the cards are very interesting. The first card, the World. Second card, the 8 of Coins. And the third card, the Lovers. And as I said earlier, this is the continuation of the first time using the cards, or second time using them for me. So you'll have to bear with me as I reference the book. The World is titled A Cycle Complete. The world announces the completion of a journey. A master of this worldly experience, she has integrated her mind, body, and spirit to complete a cycle in her life as she prepares for another lap around. Through effort and grace, she has gained many skills and achieved a great feat, evolving from novice to expert. She has become a new being, moving with a sense of ease and satisfaction. Whole and complete, she has drunk deeply of her divine spirit and casts an ethereal glow. Meaning, completion of a journey, a paradigm shift, mastery, peace of mind, ease, wholeness, certain success, observation of one's own perfection. So I also don't know which order these came out in because they were just the way I grabbed the deck. So it's interesting that I wasn't to reshuffle or any of that. I'm curious about the other two meanings in the book because I have a feeling how they're supposed to be laid out may or may not be the direction I'm reading them also. But let's see. So the second one I'm going to read is the 8 of Coins, and it's titled Artistic Pride. In the 8 of Coins, a craftsman focuses intently on completing a project, combining his heart, head, and hands. He is proficient at his job, and he is committed to something more. The details that go unnoticed and that are seemingly insignificant to others. In other words, pure artistry. He has not been asked to improve by a customer or an employer. It is simply for himself and for the love of quality and craft. When this card enters your reading, slow down, focus on the details, enjoy the work for the love of it. Meaning, a shift from competence to mastery, diligence, extreme focus, an openness to learning, a new opportunity, pride in one's work, and self-discovery. I think I have a little bit better idea where this might be going. Let's see. Now we will go to the Lovers. Choosing Love is its title. We all have unexplainable moments of knowing or recognizing ourselves in a person or a place intuitively. These moments of love are spiritual, like reuniting with a cosmic twin. They can restore balance and make us feel very happy. Unlike the title might suggest, the Lover's card is not primarily about passion or romance. When these moments of love occur, they are about a choice. Follow your head or follow your heart. Love is not always convenient, easy, or painless, but the possibilities that arise from saying yes can bring lifelong joy in many areas. Follow your heart and choose love. That was almost accidental, by the way. Meaning, a choice, transformation, love, fulfillment of desires, a magical union, trust in one's heart, harmony. So we have the World, the 8 of Coins, and the Lovers. So for the World, people are beginning to come into their own with everything that we're experiencing right now energetically. Since the portal has opened and all the dimensions are right, present, and aware of themselves simultaneously, and they're opening, and for everyone else. There's a sense of calm and peace and ease that people are beginning to settle into, and they have already been coming together and uniting, but all of that then kind of goes into the Eight of Coins card. And with this one, it's like when they're coming together, when we all are coming together, it's like we're being led and pulled to do a certain thing. And I know I have some big things coming that I have felt very led and drawn to do. And I heard get my space and home together in order to do this energetically. And there's going to be some collaboration even with my children in some of these projects, because as you know, they are all home. Well, you may or may not know, but I figure with a stay-at-home order for most places, that is what's going on. But in that builder mode, or creative artistry mode, we're all drawn to do a certain path with our own passion, our own connection with our gifts that we have to bring here. A good example is a friend of mine who has been sharing his journey throughout this pandemic. And he has a 3D printer, which I happen to also love because of a job that I previously had. I'm like looking around the heart chakra. I have all the chakras, but just an example. And he began printing respiratory protective masks for healthcare workers to donate, and then he decided to sell them to other people so that he could get more product to deliver more to healthcare heroes. And he's using that artistic, creative, and passion to serve a purpose in this now. My daughters and I had kind of been putting it off because they're still pretty klutzy about regular things, but we will be doing some sewing, and I'm going to sew some face masks together. I ventured out to industrially clean some fabric that I had stored in totes in the garage this weekend. Straight there, straight out, and sanitizing everything along the way and using protective gear myself and decontaminating when I come home. It's just amazing. Like, personally, I'm just more aware of energy I already was previously aware of when going out into public, as far as dirt or germs and things like this. Everything is energy. So to think like one energy being more harmful than another, it's just that mutation or the piece of the, viral energy. But there's a lot of other heavy, dense energy that is not the virus that we come in contact when we go out and interact. Laundromats are essential too. But I have even told my friend Alana, this, and maybe even a couple other people, this is something that I hadn't been told this specific instance is what was happening, but, Spirit guided and led me years ago that there would be a great shift. And that's Alana now. That there would be a great shift. And almost a mass or collective shift and awakening to their own higher levels of consciousness that I had been personally working on spiritually myself, intuitively, for a decade. And in that time, the preparations and healing and integration and wholeness that I had come to for myself, I knew I was always bettering myself and preparing myself for what my path is for helping others. And I'm very passionate about this, and this is not my income provider, but I have attempted for it to be for quite some time. But I feel also like everything else in my life was part of the healing that I had to experience for myself as well. And that's what opened up the other work that I do in finishing my degree and things like that. So anyway, the girls and I are going to get crafty together for the first time with sewing. I was very young, much younger than them, when I first began sewing with my grandmother, whose birthday I was born on. But she crossed over when I was their age. And so I feel like this will be a pivotal moment of healing and integration with the ancestral lineage generationally between my mother and my maternal grandmother and my daughters and I. So that'll be awesome to see how that unfolds. And then we'll put that to use helping others. And then with the lovers, like it said, it's not necessarily just passionate or romantic kind of love. The love that this card is very much pointing to in this moment is about the coming together of everyone around the world, even if it was sparked by a catalyst that felt negative or scary to everyone. The amazing thing that Spirit is doing with this is showing how everyone is connected and everyone is susceptible to the same energy, and that interconnectedness is what Spirit's trying to use this to demonstrate. And also Mother is trying to heal. The earth is just, it's like it's taking a respite as well as all of us staying at home. So it's almost the only way this could have ever happened. And that, I think, is what's the most amazing about it. But at the same time, blessings to all of the healthcare heroes and to all the families of all the people that have come in contact or have overcome or crossed over. And with that being said, I do channel messages from the other side of the veil. And that is a piece of my gifts that I have yet to really open up to the public. And with the opening of the 444 portal, and in this moment now, I'm feeling very drawn to offer this as a service to others and for any messages that anyone might have needed to get across. Because there is that closeness and connectivity that everyone is also struggling to find right now. And, some people may be distant and out of reach in form as well. So there's a lot of loneliness and pain and fear energy around, and lack mentality. And it's like anytime I had tried to even think about everyone that was experiencing all the different things, it would be because it had stirred up in me, and then I'm like, is this my feeling or is this someone else's? Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. And just picking it up and being a magnet for it in the universe, what's needing attention, then I'll pull that energy and transmute it to see what I can do about shifting that for everyone and holding space for the entire planet and healing and doing my part with perfect love and in a most unconditional way. And that is really what casts out fear. All we can do is find where we have our gifts and then use our love to manifest those gifts in the best way that we can help each other, the entire world. With that said, I would also like to pull, I'm feeling drawn to pull at least one, maybe one more card other than that, which is from the frequency deck. A Frequency Tarot by Teal Swan. I really love all the frequency art. She hand paints everything. It's amazing. And ever since I saw any of them, it felt like so familiar. And I was able to pick up, it was the first time I consciously I was picking up a frequency from an image that was channeled by another worker, one of the spiritual gurus as I like to call them. Anyone that's there to help anyone else get where they need to be on their own. Spiritual guru. I love it. So I love the back of the cards too. They're the alchemy. Gratitude. So what I've been doing when the children start to let's just say shift to lower frequency vibration, I help them by reassuring them about everything that we have to be grateful for. And like, even though the last month, each trip I did make out to the store, it was like scarce and sporadic, and I just kind of walked around laughing, pushing the cart, knowing that the world was abundant, and it just didn't really make sense why there was so much empty and despair, because we have abundance readily available to us. It's just a mindset. And so, people that bought all the toilet paper and all those things immediately, I was like, really? I just didn't quite understand. Now I get that they were just in a bit of a panic and like, oh, if we're going to be stuck at home and, we still need to go to the restroom. But anyway, gratitude. So when the children are starting to be a little antsy or get a little frustrated with each other, I remind them that if you have the attitude of gratitude, that the other types of attitudes can exist in the same place at the same time. They're polar opposites in the universe, basically. And so we start to talk about, what are we grateful for? Like, grateful we have food, even if it's ramen. Grateful that we have toilet paper. Grateful that we have each other. Grateful that we have technology. And eventually someone says something funny, and then we're laughing, and then people aren't at each other's throats anymore. People, as in my children. But I'm so grateful for you, and I'm so grateful for my friend Alana, who I've connected with in California, and we've been socially distant since we met, which was online. And we've become what feels to be true sisters in form, even here now, connecting through spirit. And I would like to add one other piece. When you start to feel lonely, or you really need to connect with someone else, what Spirit has shown me about the internet or the interwebs or the Internet of Things is that the web, it is a connected web for a reason. It's called a web because it's interlying grid lines, just like the planet has grid lines, meridians, longitude, latitude. And these are the points in which the energy travels around the earth. And we all have them as well, meridians in our own body. And along with the chakra points, the pressure points, there's all these key pieces. But with the interweb, I like to call it, what Spirit showed me was there's a connectivity there that's training people's minds to be able to connect to one another telepathically. Just like if you think about someone all of a sudden, say your sister, and she messages you, there's a connection there that's deeper than just that physical connection. The connection is heart to heart, spirit to spirit, soul to soul, and we can call on each other without having to call on the phone. We can embrace one another energetically. Maybe not physically right now with social distancing and all of that, but we can be there. We can be present. We can hold space. And I don't just mean for video calls, but that as well. But when Spirit showed me, it's like I began to practice that. And now I know that every connection and every person or every friend that I have on social media is that, and that I'm following that energetic grid line to that person and connecting with this person or this information or this photo. And that's kind of how the frequency works as well. So if you think about your body is like an instrument, and the frequency is like a tuning fork. Like if you can tune in your body, mind and soul, heart, then you can radiate and acclimate to any frequency you choose. It's all a matter of free will, choice, and intention. And I would just ask that you would see what you connect with and where you'd like to share your energy and frequency and how. Reach out. Thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed part 2. Bless you. Thank you.